It's a direct result of my cancer in 2011.
We're not stagnant biological bodies. The power of all of these books is a sense of growth.
It doesn't matter what I say about this. I always say in my workshops, don't believe a word. The whole purpose here is for you to have your own experience. We must remember this. We are a product of cultural and society's indoctrination from the moment we're born. And we have to become open-minded enough to examine our own state of consciousness and determine what beliefs do we hold that are holding us back. Because I and others have found there's nothing out there stopping us from obtaining the answers. We do by what we choose to believe. So we have to look deep inside ourselves and determine what is reality. 7 billion people on the planet, and we don't know where we're headed. We're on this 80, 90-year-old journey. What's going to happen at the moment this transition of consciousness occurs? The answers are available. What have we learned from 40 years of documented NDEs and OBEs? There's dozens of dedicated, well-respected researchers have been exploring and researching near-death experiences for many decades now. They've compiled amazing results and insights. I have focused on the OBE. 15 years ago, I did a survey where 17,000 people responded about their OBEs. In other words, experiences beyond the body. For some of you that don't know, an NDE is generally caused by a trauma of some kind, and it's generally a short experience, 4 minutes or less. OBEs open up a whole new realm because they can be extended and repeated, and that's what makes them so valuable. There's no time limit. You can repeat an OBE every night if you have the proper training and explore your non-physical reality. We have been indoctrinated to believe, of course, that the biological brain is a source of consciousness. But yet, millions and millions of NDEs and OBEs prove that this is a false assumption and conclusion, completely false. Through these millions of experiences, we know that we continue to exist. This is the baseline. We know we continue to exist and function beyond the body. This is a fact. We continue to think and function. This is an important point because this blows out of the water the entire philosophy of the physical scientists that prove that all thought and reasoning is a biological function. OBEs and NDEs, of course, prove that to be totally false. We are entering another reality. It operates by different rules. We do not breathe air. We are using a different kind of energy body. We're reasoning, we're functioning, we're thinking logically, but yet there's no biological brain. So we're using a different form of energy, essentially. I personally have been having OBEs for 40 years. I can't count, there's so many. Not only can we exit our physical body in full consciousness, not only can we function, but we can function for extended periods of time while separated from the body. There's no question of this. I and others have spent over an hour from my biological body, from our bodies, fully functional. Matter of fact, you're more aware, not less, more aware. You have more capabilities. Now the knowledge and the insight is coming forth. We are capable of existing and exploring in many different dimensional realities. What I and others have discovered through time and time again is that the physical world is the thin outer epidermis of the universe. When we have an NDE or an OBE, the term out of body is really a misnomer because what we're actually doing is shifting our consciousness from the outer biological brain to the inner vibrational energy body that we all already possess. We're moving inward into the more subtle substructure or core of the universe. This universe, this physical universe, is a tiny, tiny fraction of the totality of the universe that exists. It's beyond my words to even make a statement. It's like a balloon, and the outer skin, the outer elastic is the physical. When people die, when they have OBEs and NDEs, they're shedding the epidermis layer, they're shedding the chrysalis, and they're moving inward into this multidimensional universe that we all share. Unfortunately, because of a lack of knowledge for thousands of years, many belief systems have given this non-physical reality these terms that are now part of our culture, which is heaven, paradise. I mean, they're basically nondescript terms of a non-physical reality that was difficult to describe, and I understand that. These concepts are difficult because the rules of the road of non-physical reality are totally different than the rules of matter. And often we forget this. We try to use our physical concepts of reality and apply them to a non-physical state. It doesn't work, which of course leads to the entire flawed concepts that now are so dominant in our society, which is this concept of paradise and heaven, and that everyone just goes to this place. I mean, it's actually quite childish. Millions and millions of out-of-body and near-death experiences prove that there's multiple realities that people experience. And when we have these experiences, we're experiencing another aspect of ourselves. We're exploring another aspect of ourselves that already exists because we are a microcosm of the entire universe. Our bodies is just the outer layer, the thin outer epidermis of this. Another thing that I like to point out, and this is not well known by many people, when I have an out-of-body experience, the longer that I hold that state of consciousness, my arms and my legs will begin to dissolve away. My torso will dissolve away until I become a pinpoint of consciousness with 360-degree vision. I and others that have out-of-body experience, we don't see these animal vision. We see through our true vision. Call it our expanded state of consciousness or call it soul, whatever label you want to give it. But that's what we really are. We are not only non-physical, we are evolving into a non-humanoid, because that's truly what we are. We are immortal. We're a non-physical species, non-humanoid species, using form as a tool for our evolution and exploration purposes, because you need a biological body to experience the biological world, just like you need a non-physical body or an astral body, let's say, to experience the astral dimension. You need a vehicle of consciousness that resonates in the same vibratory range so you can be effective to explore it, to experience it. The bottom line, we are not even human. We're consciousness, pure consciousness using forms for our evolution. And what's amazing is, how do we evolve? We learn, grow, and evolve by becoming that which we wish to learn. I could read 1,000 books about being a woman in the 20th century. I would never get it, would I, as a man? Never would I. I think all the ladies would agree. But become a woman one time, one incarnation as a woman, I bet I got it down pretty good. I finally understand what it's like. This is how our species evolves. We become what we wish to learn. We use biological vehicles as tools of our consciousness, as tools of our exploration, as tools of our evolution as a non-physical species. And this is an important difference. Our self-identity is what blocks us in many ways in our personal evolutionary process. Think about it. As long as you identify yourself as a male or female human at death, how can we, with that anchor, possibly move to the higher vibrational levels in the thought responsive universes beyond or dimensions beyond the astral. Many people are always looking for beliefs, believe this and believe that, but it's the opposite. Beliefs end up being the anchors that hold us. It's the anchor that holds us to the form-based realities of the lower dimensional. And there's endless dimensions as far as we can tell. We must remember this. We are a product of cultural and society's indoctrination from the moment we're born. And we have to become open-minded enough to examine our own state of consciousness and determine what beliefs do we hold that are holding us back? Because I and others have found there's nothing external. There's nothing out there stopping us from obtaining the answers. We do by what we choose to believe. So we have to look deep inside ourselves and determine what is reality. The answers are available.